Hey, whole brainers. My name is Chris Chapin. I'm a Sped Ed teacher in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. I'm also on the whole brain teaching staff. And today I'm going to talk to you about adding multi-brain questioning, particularly in the Sped Ed room. And it can be used in any room. So I'm going to tell you a little bit today. We did a couple opportunities to use higher level questioning. One way we used was we were reading a story about using crayons and markers. And what we did is when we talked about the crayons and markers, we actually had the opportunity to talk about what were the advantages of using the crayons and the markers. So we started off with one important point of markers are you use them to color in or fill in the color in your pictures. Also the same thing with crayons. Then we got into compare and contrast. We compared what's the advantage of using markers? What's the advantage of using crayons? And I thought this was interesting. Some children used an example when you're talking about markers, they have a cap on them. We talked about the disadvantages of using crayons and markers. Crayons and markers, of course, especially the markers, can get on your hands. We also talked about chalk. Chalk's great. Eventually chalk wears out. Chalk gets on your hands. And then we talked about the places that we would use crayons, markers, chalk. Most of the time, crayons, markers, we use in the classroom. Chalk, we probably use more if we're outside doing recess or in art class. I thought this was interesting. We were doing watercolors, and the kids were saying the disadvantage when we were contrasting the difference between using markers and using the watercolors is that you need water. And I would add to that also the size of your brush limits how much that you can color. So we did some compare and contrast with that. The second thing we did today was we had snack. We compared and contrasted the similarities and the differences of each individual snack. One child actually had three snacks, had a juice, then had a muffin, then had fruit snacks. Generally, I only let them have one drink and one snack, but she snuck it before I had a chance to say anything. So I figured since she's at home, I'm not going to fight it. And we talked about what are the three things that are similar about your snacks. Fruit juice, even though it's probably more sugar than anything, it has fruit in it. A fruit snack, even though it's more sugar probably than anything, has fruit in it. And of course, the muffin had blueberries in it. So all three had fruit. What's different? We talked about the texture. We talked about apples that had caramel and peanuts on them. What does the peanut taste like? What does the caramel taste like? What does the apple taste like? What's different about the caramel? The caramel is smooth. The apple's a little more on the crunchy side. So there are all different kinds of things that you can do. They're just ordinary things in your classroom where you can get engagement, start asking those harder questions. So you might start off with one important point or one important thing about this object that you're eating is. Then you might even compare. One person has one snack, one person has another. Even if it's remote, like I'm doing right now, you can compare. What's the difference between my pineapple and your Cheez-Its? They might be the same shape. What is different about it? We know pineapple's more healthier. Cheez-Its is junk. But of course, I wouldn't say that to them personally, but I would maybe have them use some examples. Then I might say, pineapples, for example, are fruit. Then I would detail some more about why a pineapple is a fruit. Where does it grow? What does it look like? What's the color of it? Then the last one is 3 details about it. So if we were to say, for example, I just ate a banana. A banana is yummy, zoop, yellow, zoop, and smooth. So those are some ways that, and then I would also go into an example sentence about the banana. All of them should have an example sentence. But remember, especially if you're dealing in the Sped Ed realm, which I deal with each and every day, the process is very slow. But even with very slow, we can still have the same high expectations for all students. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk with you next time. Bye.